Hello, everybody. Welcome back for another episode of Mission Moments. We have on Marcel today, and she's going to go over her trip and experience. So, everybody, welcome to the stage, Marcel. Hello, Marcel. How are you?
I'm good. Hi, Jonathan.
Hi, how are you doing today?
Great. Thank you for having me.
Great. So, we're just going to start it off here. So, how was your trip? When did you go on your trip? And just give us any, feelings or emotions that you had that day and how you enjoyed it, who you went with, and things of that nature.
Yeah, I was nominated by a friend from the Healing Garden here in Harvard, Mass, and it was wonderful. We went last summer, and I went with my partner and two friends who accompanied me, and it was just lovely. It was a perfect sunny day. We went out of Salem, Mass, and we just had an amazing day. The water was perfect, the sun was perfect. We brought a picnic on, and just totally enjoyed ourselves for a few hours. It's really great.
Great. That's awesome to hear. So it sounds like you had someone nominate you through another organization, which is always
Mhm.
great as well. I ended up nominating myself, but I heard about it through another organization. Somebody told me about it, so it was a fantastic time out of down here in Maryland. But what would you say to anyone kind of on the fence about going? Maybe people that aren't doing too well, s- mentally or physically, maybe they're not in good shape or good balance, so to speak. I know myself, I went through some balance issues, as well, but I felt like everybody was on point with everything. But how did you feel the staff and the first mate and the captain and everybody, all the staff was leading up to the trip or even during the trip?
Yeah, I felt totally safe and well taken care of during the trip. The captain and the crew were just wonderful. It felt like old friends. I felt like I knew them for a long time somehow. And I did nominate a couple of other women in my cancer support group from the Healing
Awesome.
Garden. Um, and I explained how it was and how easy it was to get there, and how friendly everybody was on the trip, and how good it was for your psyche, to be out on the ocean. And it was a beautiful boat, so it was quite luxurious, really, to have this little private tour in the harbor. It's very nice.
Yeah, you felt like it was, like you're like a VIP, so to
Yeah,
speak.
exactly. A private tour, with just me and my friends. It's really good.
And this other group that you said you nominated some other people. So I mean, um, maybe you'll have to get them back on. The thing it sounded like it's a thing. Once you want to share it, right?
Oh, yes, absolutely. Yes. I'll I'll let them know, or I'll give you their names. I'm sure they'd be happy to talk to you because they also had a great time. So,
Yeah, that'll be great. We're just looking to get it more out there to everybody. I know when I first heard about it, they're like, "Oh, you live in Annapolis? There's like this thing that goes around the harbor," and I'm like, "Oh," I'm like, my mother. First of all, I'm like, I would like that, but I'm like, my mother would love that. You know what I mean? I'm like, who wouldn't love to go
yeah.
sailing around any harbor anywhere? You know what I mean? I'm like, that's like crazy. So I think that just trying to. That's what the goal of this is, just to get it out there for more people to enjoy the trips, to enjoy their time out there on the water. I'm sure you felt it too. It was a very peaceful and it was just a great time. But going off of that, what would you, if you had something to say to anybody out there that's a little bit on the fence of doing one of these things, what would you kind of say to them? What kind of got you to hook your friends if you have any secret sauce or something?
Well, I didn't think it took a lot of convincing. I just told them what a great time I had, and I showed them pictures, of me actually driving the boat. They actually let me for a little while maneuver the boat. And my partner was, helping with the sails, and it was just like a party. So I just told them about my experience, and several friends wanted to know more about it, and so it was pretty easy. I don't think it takes much convincing. I mean, there's one woman who told me she gets seasick, so she says it wasn't for her, and I said, well, really? Because it was pretty like mild in
Right.
my experience. It wasn't like rough waters or anything like that. So, but I know there are people that just don't like the water. So what can you say? But just generally speaking, I think people would jump at the opportunity to just get a free boat ride, for several hours and, on the water and just have fun with your friends. So,
Absolutely. I think it's more about getting it out there. Once people know about it, I think there's this, like you said, out of whatever the seven people that you reached out to or whatever, one of them maybe felt a little bit, they get seasick, which
right.
understandable. There are people that are just they get on a floating dock, they get on out on
Yeah.
sea or something. It's just not for them, which is completely understandable. Well, I mean, pretty much went through everything with you right there that I had. You have anything you want to share with anyone out there, either in survivorship or going through cancer or anything like that? Just kind
Yeah.
of send it off on.
I think, cancer is such a terrible disease, and it not only does it hurt you physically, but your mind too. There's so much fear involved with cancer. There's so much uncertainty. And with me in particular, I never know when it's coming back. I've had 3 recurrences of my cancer, and 4 actually, 4, and for the last 6 years, and I just never know. The next MRI is gonna show. Um, so it's like a constant living with constant insecurity and uncertainty about my life and about my future and how it's going to affect me. So anytime that I can escape from that reality and just have fun, whether it's through music, my music, I use my music for an escape, or walking in the woods and whatever fills me up and takes me away from the worries and the concerns about what about the next time I have an MRI, what is it going to show. um Anything that we can hang on to enjoy life, it's just soothing, and it relieves some of the concerns and worries that unfortunately we kind of live with every day.
Marcel, I couldn't have said it better myself. I'm kind of on the same wavelength there of I enjoy my hikes, I enjoy my music, and just kind of escaping reality for a minute or two. Um, and there's studies that show that being outside does help out a lot. So I appreciate you coming on. I appreciate you sharing your story. Appreciate everything that you said. Just a couple quick little things. If anybody wants, the 3 things that Sail Beyond Cancer are 3 things are nominate. So you can nominate someone to go out on a sail. So if you know anyone actively going through anything with cancer or anything like that, definitely reach on out, nominate them. I suggest just nominate them no matter what, right? And then leave it on them to say no. Don't ask them. Just leave it on them to say no. And then once they kind of realize what's going on, it's going to be very hard for them to say no unless they got something.
Yeah.
Like she said, they get seasick very easily or anything like that. You can also donate. Um, Help us out that way as well. Or you can do something like I'm doing. I'm volunteering. We have volunteer opportunities in many different ways. If you want to take pictures, be a sailboat captain, I'm, helping out with this, social media, whatever you want to do. It's a great organization. So you can go to sailbeyondcancer.org and get on there and, again, nominate, donate, or volunteer. You guys all have a great day. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye,
Thank you.
Marcel. Have a great day.
Thank you, Jonathan. Thanks for reaching out.